Hey everyone, we're starting a new unit here with exponents. This shouldn't be a very new lesson. This should be a lot of review. That being said, if you have any questions, make sure you ask them immediately so that we can work through any problems that we might stumble upon. So, for candy, if you bring these to me, I will give you a piece of candy. We need to know what the squareds and the cubes are up to a certain level without a calculator, because a calculator would actually make this take longer. 2 squared, that means 2 times 2, which would be 4. 3 squared then is 3 times 3, or 9. It's important to remember that this is not 3 times 2. This is a counter of how many 3's we're dealing with. So then 4 squared is 4 times 4, or 16. If you give me a list all the way up to 13 squared, and then continued list on the other side, 2 cubed then would be 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. 3 cubed would be 3 times 3 times 3, or 27. 4 cubed is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. So if you give me the squared list and the cube list, you'll get a piece of candy. So moving on to some examples. If we have 2 cubed equals x, well, the x is by itself, so we don't have to do anything special to it. We just have to figure out that x is equal to 2 cubed, which we know is 8. Over here, 8 squared equals x, same idea. The x is by itself, so then we just have to know that x equals 64. Down here on the bottom, it's a little different. It's 4 raised to the x is equal to 16. So we have to figure out what the exponent would be. Well, in this case, the exponent would be equal to 2, because 4 squared is equal to 16. Over here, we have 11x, or raised to the x, is equal to 121. In this case, x is also going to be equal to 2. Oops, there we go. X is equal to 2 because 11 squared is equal to 121. So I want you to try these on your own and see what you get. For this one, b is going to be equal to 3 because 4 cubed is equal to 64. This one would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So c would be equal to 5. 3 to the 4th would be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Well, this is 9, and this is 9, so 9 times 9. X would be equal to 81. And over here, 7 raised to the x is equal to 49. X is going to be equal to 2. All right, so that's one section of IXL that we'd be working on. Now, if we have some negatives mixed in, what we do for these is we would write negative 6 times negative 6 because it's squared. Negative 6 times negative 6 would be a positive 36. Over here, same idea, negative 8 times negative 8. Negative times a negative is a positive, so this would be 64. Negative 7 cubed, well, that's negative 7 times negative 7 times negative 7. 2 negatives makes a positive, but a third would make it back to a negative. Well, that's 49 times 7. Should probably slide down a little bit here. 49 times 7, that's 63. 28 plus 6 would be 343, but a negative 343. And over here, negative 1 to the 5th is just negative 1 written 5 times. Since it's an odd number of negatives, that would be a negative 1. All right. Try these on your own and see how you do. Negative 5 squared should be a positive 25. Negative 8 squared, we've done that one, is 64. Negative 4 cubed should be negative 64. And negative 2 to the 7th, what's negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2? Oh boy. Times negative 2 times negative 2. My pen doesn't freak out on me anymore. Times negative 2 times negative 2. Well, this should be an negative answer because there are 7 of them. So this is 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128, but it's a negative 128. All right, so that's the second IXL. The third one would be fractions or decimals. Now, fractions are actually really easy in this. All you do is you would square both terms. So you would get 1 squared over 4 squared. It's like we're distributing the squared to each term. 1 squared is 1, 4 squared is 16. Down here on the bottom, same idea. It'd be just 2 cubed over 3 cubed, which is 8 over 27, and that can't be simplified. Now for decimals, it's a little bit different. So there are 2 decimals here, and it's going to be 0.02 times 0.02. So there's going to be 4 total decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 times 2 is 4. And then all the lead-up decimals here would be 0. So it'd be 0.0004. And I'm going to rewrite that like that. 0.5 here, now it's 1 decimal place here, but it's cubed, so there will be 3 decimal places. 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. This time we don't need to fill in any zeros, so our answer is just 0.125. I want you to try these on your own and see what you get. Top left should be 1 over 36. Bottom left should be 27 over 64, and that can't be simplified. This one, there will be 6 decimal places. 5 times 5 is 25, and we have to insert 4 zeros. So it's 0.00025. Down here we have 0.07 cubed, so there will be 6 decimal places because there's 2 decimals in the original, cubed. 7 times 7 is 49 with 4 zeros added in. All right, that should be everything. All right, if you have any questions, make sure you ask me, and there are 3 IXLs.